Okay, my NDI is being weird again. There we go.
Okay, now it's saying join. I'm gonna press join, launch sim, like a good boy.
Like a what?
What?
You know what? Never mind.
Don't worry about it.
Never mind. All right. Well, anyway, we are live here, so everyone heard that, Armani, and we are here at Watkins Glen. We have about 20 minutes to go here in practice. We are watching down into the left and right-hander here, the final two corners here at Watkins Glen International. One of the toughest braking zones on the entire track. I see our defending winner, Landon Warren, going through there. He is sitting comfortably in ninth right now. Only a second and a half off the pace.
Yeah,
There you go.
I was gonna say, I believe this is gonna be more of an unknown than even like something like Daytona or Talladega, because you know what to you know what to expect from a plate race, kind of. You just don't know who's gonna win. Here, I honestly, I mean, from what I heard, like I said, Hyder is gonna be the favorite, which shocker. But
Right.
like other than that, it's like I genuinely have no idea.
Well, I'm going to say this much. We might have some good news. Cook said during his pre-race interview that he has a lot of confidence. This might be his opportunity to really make a strike at the championship. He's sitting 3/10 quicker than Hyder right now on the board early on in practice. This might not be. And I'll even go as far as say this. Cheery also say he's looking pretty confident. He's only 2/10 behind Hyder. So Hyder, although he did win preseason Thunder here a couple months ago, he doesn't look like that he's the fastest on track right now.
Well, it's still early on in practice. I mean, a lot can happen, but even taking a look at this top five, you got decent amount of familiar faces. I mean, Chris Lilly's up there, Osama bin Trafari is fifth, Dimitri Mondros. I mean, we talked about how, even Aiden Arevalo, almost butchered his name, but even Aiden, we talked about how we almost never heard his name at all throughout the season. And here he is, having a lap inside the top 10.
Yeah, but also I think another big thing is that we're not going to be, this could be the first time that for sure we are not going to have a full field. I think this will give an opportunity for a lot of these guys that have struggled with our big fields to actually get some points. We just saw Hyder almost match Cook's time. Now we have two guys within the 111.8 mark, about 2/100ths of a second off the fastest time for Hyder. Cook's still on top.
Well, like you mentioned with the big fields, I don't even know if at a place like Watkins Glen it would really matter, just because, I mean, it's such a big track. The chances of you getting lapped, unless you were literally like 10 seconds off the pace, the chance of you getting lapped isn't, or slim, especially in a 40-lap race. So even I don't know if the big field, unless you're going to qualify in the back, I don't know if the big field is really going to be as impactful as it was like at Auto Club or Atlanta.
All right, but 15 minutes left on the board. Lilly has set a fast time. We have now the 096. That is Thurston on the track. This is really the first track where, as you can see, I believe that's Richard. That's Arevalo going really wide there through the left-hander. Second to last corner. Thurston going 7th fastest on his first lap. That is almost a whole second off Cook and Hyder. This might be the first time this season where Thurston might be in a little bit of trouble.
We talked about it in the pre-race, how, Thurston, he's in a competitive fight with Alexander Hyder for, the top. And I mentioned it how, Thurston is kind of an unknown going to these road courses like Watkins Glen. Meanwhile, you got Hyder, who excels at this kind of racing. And that's just going to frustrate Thurston even more, knowing that he should be one of those, he should be the favorite in his eyes, but everyone's looking at Hyder. Well, after today, if he doesn't put together a pretty good run, that pressure is only going to go even higher for himself.
Absolutely.
As I see the 42 just completely wreck his shit.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And I think a big part of that, we also mentioned this during the pre-race show, you guys should watch the pre-race show, is the fact that even though even though these guys have been neck and neck so far this season, Hyder has built himself nearly a whole race's worth of points on himself there on the 096. So you know, as the more that he lets Hyder get away from him, the higher it's going to be hard for him to catch up. And obviously when we get into the chase, things are going to get back together. But a regular season is relative, especially with this format of the chase that we're using, which is from 2010 to 2013. It's pretty much a relative of what we could see in that chase. If Hyder just slowly but surely keeps pulling away from Hyder, or Hyder pulling away from Hyder, fuck me. Hyder pulling away from Thurston, then who's to say that he'll be able to recover in the chase? I mean, he's just slowly been able to put down some good performances, get those few extra points on him each and every week. And I keep watching Smith going wide every fucking corner. I think it's about time we get some actual action here on the track. Those are the two Hartman cars. Hartman sponsoring this weekend with his design company, Hartman Designs. Thank you as always here for the Hartman Designs 100. You got Ethan Harrison, who's right now sitting comfortably 6th in points. He's trying to have a good run for once. He has wrecked in essentially every single race so far this season. He's had a rough go at it. He's hoping to turn that around. He right now sits 12th. Jeremy Cook right now fastest on the board, right behind him, 1:11.836. But ever since those first couple laps have been put down, he has not been able to go much quicker.
Yeah, Ethan Harrison, he really needs a good run. It is a shame because he's always running up front in the top 3, in the top 5, and then whether it's, you know, things out of his control, you know, him just completely wrecking himself or overdriving the car, it always just ends with him, you know, not getting the finish that he deserves. I mean, just even look back in Atlanta. At the beginning of the race, he looked like he could compete for the win and then just got into the wall and never looked the same after that. So Harrison needs a good run. Maybe a road course, a completely different style of racing is exactly what he needs.
Budimlik, as we have a new fastest lap. Cook just found 2/10 on the track, 1:11.629. Trafari passes Lilly for 4th place. Lilly passed Budimlik for 5th. Budimlik went all the way from outside the top 15 to 6th. So these guys are finding pace out there. A lot of guys said during the pre-race show that they were not getting any practice. This is their first practice that they're getting. And you can see it with these lap times. Everybody is learning how to go just a few tenths quicker.
You know, it's crazy. Didn't Jeremy say that he was also one of those who didn't practice until like yesterday, and he's already putting together the fastest laps?
Yeah, he would be. So he is finding time out there on the track. By far, Jesus Christ! I'm still watching Harrison. He's going for the grass and shit, trying to find time. It's incredible to watch. But going through,
I'm looking at Hyder's lap.
Yeah, Hyder, 1:11.852. He was the favorite going into practice. He won preseason Thunder. But right now, he's being outmatched by Cook in practice. Obviously, practice is one thing. We'll be going into qualifying. We'll really see what that one-lap pace is going to be for these guys. But for right now, Hyder does not have control of this field. Cook does.
Well, it's still practice. It's early on. I mean, I think it was Atlanta or Vegas. One of those. No, it was Atlanta. I believe it was. God, I don't remember who it was. Say it again.
It was Davis, right? At Atlanta?
Yeah, it was Davis. He led practice, looked like he was going to compete, and then had a horrible qualifying, hit the wall on every lap, had to start all the way in the...
Yeah, no, he started all the way back 30, there. So, oh, my Jesus.
I mean, practice is one thing, but translate that into qualifying.
Yeah, Budimlik just got rammed up the ass by Harrison. I'm still watching him. He's... Jesus. But yeah, no, you're right there, Amani, because I'll tell you, that was a rough go there by Davis. He was able to bring home another top 10 finish. He came from all the way at the back, started dead last, charged to the field, avoided all the wrecks, was able to bring home a top 10. But if Cook's just got to be easy on that qualifying lap, man. He's got to be easy with it. If he's easy and he goes as fast as he's willing to go, I'm sure that he'll have a great start position, even a pole. 10 minutes to go here in practice. Top 10 goes Cook, Hyder, Chiri, Trafari, then Lilly, Budimlik first time in the top 10. Then we got Thurston, Mundros, Arevalo, and we were just talking about Davis. The gap between first and 10th is about a second and a half. So there is a huge difference in lap time between the fastest guy and the slowest, which at a road course like this is not surprising. And to the top, Alexander Hyder, 1:11.493. He found a tenth and a half there on Cook.
I was watching Hyder this entire time, and he looks so smooth, so confident in the moves that he's been able to make. It's no shock that he's able to find it.
Oh my god. Dude.
What's happening?
So I'm looking at Richard's car. Richard Cheery. He has that
Oh,
fucking...
no, wait,
he
wait,
has
wait,
that
wait,
fucking
wait,
football
wait,
Sonic
let me-
team Sonic on the hood. Jesus fuck. I still don't know who that Payson Lindsay guy is, but Jesus.
You know what? Just let it happen.
I'm gonna have to let it happen because... Oh my goodness.
Also, I am obligated to say this as the resident Caden Mobley Kelly hater, but he will not be racing at Watkins Glen. I know why he's not racing at Watkins Glen because the lab is closed because Labor Day. But just an obligation to say he will not be racing. And Caden, you still suck.
I agree with that, Armani. Caden Mobley Kelly does suck. Another person that won't be here tonight is our co-commentator, Donavici. He doesn't have internet. He's right now moving, and he found out that he doesn't really have a place to put his internet stuff. So, yeah, until he gets that all figured out, we're probably not going to be seeing him for a little while. But I'm going to go and say, yeah, oh my Jesus, Richard Cheery, but. But if you guys want to go over to our Discord server, get our ASCA picks in. Even though he might be dead on the outside, he's still alive on the inside. He's still giving out some of his money sometimes. And tonight he's going to be giving out no money. But you can still go ahead and put in your picks here for this weekend. Because it looks like that unless Cook at least, could find a 10th or two, Hyder might be the favorite. But obviously practice pace is a little bit different from race pace. Oh, dear God. Okay, so
he's alive on the inside.
Armani, I need you to take a look at Joshua Smith. You remember Joshua Smith last week?
Name sounds familiar.
Yeah, you know,
Number
the guy
10,
that wrecked himself while a lap car.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that guy. Yeah, that guy.
So, firstly, look at his paint scheme. He has a new sponsor this weekend. Apparently, we are sponsoring him. What does that website say? Not quite sure.
What the hell is this?
So, I found out something about Joshua Smith from Diego Roldan, our defending champion. So, as I know that you're not, well educated on ASCA's history when it comes to like all of our champions. All right, we have 13 championships that we've given out over our 6 seasons of competition. So Joshua Smith himself, and this is according to Diego Roldan, so I might be wrong, but apparently Joshua Smith, isn't an ASCA driver. He's new, right? At least you think. So the person that is driving Joshua Smith's car is not Joshua Smith. There is someone else running on his account. And that is our Season 3 D2 champion, Covers Official. Which explains everything. Because Covers Official is known as our worst champion. Because he only won the championship because he was one of the only people to show up. D2, during Season 2 and Season 3, while it was necessary to have, because we had a lot of people, it was incredibly inactive. We struggled to get people to show up every race. Most of the people that raced in D2 at that time were bushwhackers, people from Cup. So Covers just kind of won from default, because he was one of the only people that elected for those points to actually show up. And this explains everything as to why he drives like a moron and why he's 4 seconds off the pace in practice right now. So, yeah, that's your Season 3 D2 champion, everybody. Covers Official.
This guy says Joshua Smith.
Now, I was told one thing, and that was Gavin isn't driving on someone else's account against the terms of service on iRacing. Yes, it is. So, I'm not saying that you should report the account, but, if it, yeah.
I'm just still laughing at this paint scheme.
Yeah, it's a very fun one. It's very fun. Oh, there he is. I found him. I was looking for him. There
original.
he is. Let's see. Yeah, fastest lap, 1:15.4. He just wrecked himself. Oh, God. I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot of him tonight for all the wrong reasons. And Levi was not kidding, Armani. He is running a Go Bowling car this weekend, and unfortunately, he's not doing too hot. 22nd on the board, going even slower than Joshua Smith. Hopefully, he can pick it up. He has 5 minutes to do so.
That would be a Go Bowling car.
And I just heard someone blow a motor. It is Jason Gallagher, who absolutely ruined his car. Okay, so he went... Oh, okay. Yeah, he just, just went full throttle into the tire barriers down to turn 1. Okay.
That's fair.
Dude, okay, go watch Jason Gallagher and go rewind really quick.
All right, hold on. Where is this? What number is he again?
85.
Never mind, found him. All right.
Jesus.
All right, let's see. All right, here we go. All right, looking good. Oh.
He's still sitting there.
Buddy.
He's still sitting there.
Gallagher, you might have a problem.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just seeing all the cars going by him. He can't even move the car.
There's something wrong. Wait, hold on. Okay, I was about to say my UI was messing up. It was saying that Chris was Nicholas Martinez Jr. for a second, but Chris having a good run so far in practice. He's been within the top 5 for the entirety of it. Miles Davis just found a whole second. He is up to 4th now, 1:12.274.
I was gonna say, I mean, Nicholas Martinez hasn't he been suspended the last couple races?
Yeah,
so I believe this is his first race. Yeah, this is his first race back.
Yeah, so he's got a lot to pick up here. He's outside the top 30, nowhere near chase contention, but a night like tonight could turn things around there for him. Unfortunately, sitting 17th on the board at the moment. He's got to pick that up.
Welcome, Nicholas. We're happy to have you.
I'm not.
Please don't wreck everyone again.
Don't give him ideas. Richard Cheery just found a second as well. He moves... Wait. Never mind. Okay, never mind. So I fucked up with Cheery. I completely forgot he was in 3rd, but then Lily decided to pick me up on that. He just ran a few tenths quicker. 1:12.005. Right at the mist of getting within the 111 bracket.
I don't think you... That's a... why is... Who's backwards?
I don't know.
That is who's that number 71?
71, that's Corbin Collins. And Cook just found 2/10, top of the board, 1:11.483, 100th of a second between the top 2 in practice. And 6/10 off 3rd.
Well, I think we know who our 2 favorites are, as practice is just about a minute away from concluding. So, Gavin, who are you picking to win?
Well, you know what? Look, it is so easy. I've been doing this these last couple weeks. I've been picking someone far out, somebody that more than likely isn't going to win, but think about the feel-good story it would be. So I'm going to go by and say that I think tonight... This driver has won the 2 of the last 3 races here at Watkins Glen International, and I understand that when I say this stat, it means absolutely nothing. It has nothing to do with that. Stats from our previous seasons on a whole different platform mean nothing when it comes to this season. But I'm going to go with my good friend Landon Warren. I think that he's going to bring it home here for the win. Wins the last 2 of the 3 races here. Has a great record here. I think that he'll somehow, even though he's sitting 14th right now, I think he'll bullshit a win out of tonight.
Okay.
Who's your pick?
Well, I'm going to keep it simple. Let him cook. I think Jeremy Cook gets it done.
Well, that's an easy pick to go with. He's right now fastest at the end of practice. We're going to be watching our defending winner here for tonight's qualifying run, Alexander Hyder. He won last week at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Second in practice. We're going to go on a run with him here tonight, and we'll see if he can get another pole position. We'll see if he can defend his preseason Thunder win. There he is at the exit of pit road. And we're going to be waiting on him to roll, and there he goes. So he's going to have an out lap, and then he's going to have 2 laps here to get his starting spot here for tonight's Hartman Designs 100. 10 minutes on the clock, a lot longer for these guys because it's a road course. We're going to give these guys a fair opportunity to get all their laps in.
Oh, here we go. Let's see what Hyder can do, and I'm really interested to see because, the difference in experience, going from roadblocks to iRacing, a lot of these guys, but especially here at a road course, a lot of guys, at least that I've known, they don't really practice a lot of road coursing on stock cars. They tend to stick with the ovals, so I think this is an opportunity for some guys that we typically don't talk about to really make a name for themselves in this race.
Absolutely. Here he comes, coming into the final 2 corners. Again, 2 laps here for Alexander Hyder. We'll see if he can get a pole position and defend his last week's win. Here we go, out of the final corner, starting his lap.
Got a pretty good exit coming out of the final turn, which is good. That means he's able to get all the speed he needs going into turn number 1. So far, so good. Looking for the 24 as he heads up the S's.
This part is so treacherous here, Armani. There is so little downforce through this section as you're going uphill. You can see he's sliding the back just a tad. But through those type of corners, you might want a little bit of slide to help with the rotation. He's coming down the back.
All right, let's see how he does here. The bus stop, it's such, you're tempted to try to dive, get a little more than you can give, but then it can come out and bite you. You can even see Hyder going through the bus stop. Look at that car just bounce off. So far looking good for Hyder as he heads through the carousel. And the carousel, in my opinion, is one of the sneaky dark horse spots of the track. Everyone thinks, oh, it's just a carousel, do what you got to do. But if you don't get that part of the track correctly, if you don't get that rotation, you could compromise your lap big time.
That was a fantastic second half of the lap, and coming off the final corner, right up against that yellow line, right up against the wall, coming to the checkered flag of the first lap. And what's it going to be? He's just going to kill it now. That's all he's got to do. And yes, top of the board, 111.494. That's nearly identical to his practice lap.
That is incredible. Over a second faster so far than the rest of the field. Right now on provisional second place is Jason Gallagher. He is 8/10 off the pace. Next guy just broke into the 111 marks. That's Richard Sheedy now, 4/10 off. Chris Lilly, a 112.111, currently third.
We're waiting on Cook's lap here. Let me see if I can pick him up here. Where's Cook? Yeah, he just crossed the line.
Jeremy Cook, 3/10 off.
He's got to do another lap here, though. Let's see if he can pick it up. Those tires are surely screaming after a lap. We'll see if he can pick it up a couple more tenths. Here he goes through the S's.
Little bit wide coming out of turn number 1, but looks good through the S's. Car, nice rotation coming out. Let's see how he does going into the bus stop. And especially now that he's 3/10 off the pace, you're going to wonder if is he going to try to get more going into the...
Oh,
just look at the car bounce he entered. My goodness.
Yeah, that thing is all over the place. You can tell he wants pole position. He wants to be able to position his car perfectly for turn 1 and defend the lead. But I'll tell you, it was a little sloppy, a little aggressive through the bus stop. We saw him correct the car a little bit. Here he comes through the left-hander here. A good corner right there. He's going to use a little bit more track compared to Hyder. Will that hurt his entry into the final corner? No! He'll still have a good entry right there. Good center, good exit. Here he comes to the line. Will it be an improvement? Let's see. Yes! To the top of the board! 111.460. That aggression was exactly what he needed. Jeremy Cook, I hate to be a little premature. We have 5 minutes left to go here in qualifying, but I think we have our pulse here, Armani, and what a fantastic second lap.
That was phenomenal. I mean, like you said, he was all over the place, but he was able to control and just take out and just get every ounce of that car. And now he sits on pole. But boy, you gotta imagine Hyder. He's regretting, not going for that second lap because that probably could have cost him pole.
Here, I'm gonna show this really quick. Look at the wheel right here. I'm showing it on stream right now. Him going through the bus stop. Here, I'm gonna go back a little further here. Here he comes, coming into the bus stop. All 4 tires off the ground, ramping off that first curb. He's going to go through the second curb right here pretty easy, but as he transitions into the third, you're going to start noticing he has a little bit of a correction right there. He's all the way in the grass right there coming off that second curb. He gets on the power a little bit, try to help the car rotate. As he hits this third curb, he is completely sideways, correcting the car right there, holding on to the thing as he's drifting it here through the final third and fourth curb. I thought that would have done it. We saw Hyder be so smooth through that bus stop, but it seemed like he was a little too easy because Cook just ramped himself through there.
He even went a little bit in the grass. He went airborne, that's for sure.
And I'll tell you something as well. I think that you said that the carousel is one of those dark horse areas. You see a lot of people not talk about it. And I agree with you. I saw Hyder, if there was any whoa! James Thurston, top of the board! 1-4-4-6! I didn't even count him involved in this. What?
Are you kidding me?
I did. He's on another lap. He's doing another one.
Oh, he wants this. He's trying to secure it.
Never mind. No. He's abandoning the lap. That is pole position. What? James Thurston.
We need to see this lap because
absolutely. It was
I'm watching this lap right now just to see how we look. Oh my God, he was all but wrecked going into turn number 1. I'm watching the replay right now.
Here he is. Here, we're gonna watch his lap here.
You can see when he went to turn number 1, the car was getting so loose. Just the control that he had to keep it going. My God, he was hustling this car.
Wow. I was not expecting that. Coming into tonight, the question of whether Thurston could, keep track of Hyder was a big contention. Hyder had such a good advantage of him after those last 2 races, but he got it. Oh my God. Look at that bus stop. Yeah. My goodness. And I feel like he's making mistakes too. I mean, he overdrives the carousel over there, but he's using so much more track. He's nearly going in the grass outside of the carousel. My goodness. And here I thought,
yeah, Cook doesn't. He's not happy about Thurston's surprise pole lap. Well, right now, provisional pole lap. We got about 1:20 to go, but I'm just in shock. Like, I didn't again, like Thurston, I talked about him as like a wild card because we didn't know what he did at the road courses, but I owe him an apology. I wasn't familiar with his game.
I wasn't familiar with his game either. I mean, that was, in practice, he wasn't that quick. He was a couple tenths off, but he found something in qualifying after that first lap, and he just pushed as hard as he could to its limits, and he will be starting on pole position. And we were having this conversation about maybe somebody pulling away with this win. I don't think that's happening. The top 3 are separated by less than 0.5 of a second at Watkins Glen. That is going to be an unreal fight all day long.
What's crazy is that in practice he was 1.4 seconds off the pace, nowhere close. And then here he is. He just goes nearly a second and a half faster.
Oh boy, this is going to be a fun one here. as we're coming to the end of qualifying. We're going to be showing off the starting lineup here for tonight's Hartman Designs 100. Again, thank you, Hartman, once again for sponsoring this event. It's a real honor to have you here. But let's go ahead and take a quick look here at the starting lineup as qualifying has concluded, and they're going to start grading up. I fucked it up again, didn't I? Hold on. No. I'm not doing this again. I'm going to fix that because, one moment.
Are you going to put the story lineup as a warm-up?
Oh, you know what? I completely forgot about the warm-up. Thank God that's happening, actually.
And Ethan Harrison, and the wrecking coming out of the pit. So Levi Lipe, Ethan Harrison, and like two others, they literally just crashed. Oh, wait. Did Chris Lilly advance to the next?
Yeah, I think they're just going straight to the race.
Yeah, they are. They're just going straight to the race. I think Chris saw how they exited pit row, and he's like, "No, we're going into this. We're just going straight into it."
All right, so let's take a look at the starting lineup now. Proper, I have it up. Hartman Designs 100. James Thurston on pole position. Jeremy Cook alongside. Then we got Alexander Hyder starting third. Richard Cheery starting fourth. Chris Lilly in fifth. And Jason Gallagher in sixth. Going into row 4, we got Miles Davis, Aiden Arevalo. Then we got Dimitri Mundros and Hunter M. Collier. Outside the top 10, we got our defending winner of this race, Landon Warren, and Aiden Smith IV, holding on to that last chase spot. Starting 13th, we got Ethan Harrison and Cole Swaggart. Then we got Jordan Herring and Freddie Grube. Levi Lipe looking for a good run here tonight. Start 17th with Logan Hartman, today's sponsor, starting in 18th. Then in 19th, we got George Tolsma and Connor Jafari starting all the way back in 20th, with Nicholas Martinez Jr. making his return race after getting suspended a couple weeks back, with Nicholas Bunamlik alongside. Then we got Wayne A. Kennedy in 23rd, Owen Chabinsky 24th, and rounding out the rest of the field, we got Matt Bottles in 25th, Ryan Arnold 26th, Daniel Botting 27th, and our great champion of our series, Joshua Smith, rounding out the field in 28th. Pace lap has begun. It's almost time to roll here for 40 laps of action.
There's a couple guys to look in this race too. You know, you got Nicholas Martinez Jr. making his return after being suspended. He's going to be one to watch. He's starting in the 21st position. He actually didn't put down a qualifying lap, and you know, the man that we are praying to make some, or at least I'm praying for action, Connor Trafari. He's starting 20th, but I'm now really interested to see what this battle looks like. You got so many different storylines up top. You got Thurston trying to cement himself as the favorite. You got Jeremy Cook, who excels at this type of racing. You got Alexander Hyder looking to do what he always does. I mean, so many different guys up front. And again, the top three are so close. I mean, if any of you remember 2012 Watkins Glen, not the part where Kyle Busch wrecked out at the end, but you know, where the top three were just nose to tail, we can see something very similar here tonight, as a couple cars are going, you know.
Yeah, they're just doing it so they don't hit each other on.
To say screw the.
Yeah, no, they're just doing that so they don't, because they have to go double file through there. They're just trying not to hit each other. But I agree with you, Armani. It is going to be such an incredible night of action. Hopefully, and Chris said this, and I'm pretty sure I said this during the drivers' meeting a few minutes ago. No yellows unless it's a big crash, unless there's some kind of blockage on the racetrack, which means probably for the first time this season we'll get a long green flag run. This is an old surface too. These tires are going to be screaming. These guys are going to be pitting here, getting some grip on those tires. It's going to be a fun night of action as they go through the left-hander, and they're going to be approaching the right. James Thurston trying to fight back after Hyder beat him last week. Cook trying to turn his season around with a second-place starting spot. Hyder going up against both of them after winning preseason thunder, and Cheery trying to bullshit a win. Coming into pit road goes the pace car as they come to the CLD restart zone. Green flag is in the air here from Watkins Glen.
Already Hyder's trying to make it 3 wide. Oh, he backs out of it at the end.
Almost contact there between the 70 and the 24 through turn 1. The 24 tried to go 3 wide into the corner. Cheery now on the attack and past Hyder. Hyder trying to keep to the corner panel. They'll go side by side out of the S's.
In the meantime, James Thurston, he did perfect what he needed to do and just pulls away from the field, pulling away from Jeremy Cook.
Side by side, Davis, Moondrow sideways through.
In the grass! Thurston in the grass!
My goodness! Single file out of...
it's lap 1!
Gotta chill out, boys, here. Deep in the pack, that is the 9 car of Connor Trafari charging through the field. He's went from 20th to 12th in 1 lap.
I don't want to know how he did it. I don't want to know how he did it.
I'm gonna assume he went 3 wide into turn 1 and passed a couple rows of cars. Side by side, Arevalo on Gallagher coming through the final corner as they come to complete the first of 40 laps here in this grueling race at Watkins Glen.
Lilly nearly spun it out coming out of the final corner, but back up front, Jeremy Cook is closing in on Thurston. The thirst is first right now, but Alexander Hyder trying to come back here in that 3rd spot after that, failed attempt at a dive bomb on lap 1.
Armani, I'm surprised no one crashed on that lap. I don't think anybody, unless it's like one car in the back, actually crashed on that first lap. That's so impressive by these guys.
Thirsty for Thurston. We're trying to get that hashtag going. Shout out to my buddy William Richard who started that hashtag, but the thirst is first right now. And the top 3, I talked about it earlier, they're going to be covered by a blanket. Right now, it is just that nose to tail right now between the 96 to 70 to 24.
My goodness, a second between the top 3. Incredible action here at Watkins Glen as we come to complete lap 2. Thurston doing a good job holding it off. I'm seeing Cook going really wide through some of these corners. He's clearly trying to push the issue and trying to get up to Thurston as soon as possible because Hyder is showing up.
Yeah, but he's doing that. He's sacrificing so much. Oh, we got to spin to the backstretch, and it's Ethan Harrison.
Oh, no. Yeah, Ethan's around. Big crash here. That is Martinez Jr. The 77's in. We're going to quickly take a look. Let's see. So, oh, no. Connor Trafari. Side-by-side contact. Oh, no. Harrison doored Trafari out of the left-hander before the final corner. He's sideways trying to correct the car. Grass on the tires. He hooks the 39. That's Jordan Herring, who's in a 39 car this week for some reason. He's supposed to be in the 07. And Martinez Jr. has nowhere to go. Great avoidance there by Martinez Jr.
Well, that would explain why Connor's is so far ahead.
And he's going for more. He's just past Collier. He's side by side with Collier. Through the carousel sideways goes Trafari. Out of the carousel. They'll continue side by side as they battle for the top 10.
Going back to this battle for the lead right now, Jeremy Cook, he is closed in on the back bumper of James Thurston. He's going to look to make a move going into the final corner, going on the inside. Thurston gets loose. Cook trying to take advantage.
And here comes Hyder into the mix. 3 guys, bumper to bumper, as they go through turn 1.
Oh my goodness, Thurston got the run on the outside, and he's still able to hold on to the lead from Jeremy Cook, who's now under pressure from Alexander Hyder.
Yeah, you can't cool down if you're Thurston right now. You got 2 of the fastest guys in the series right now on your ass, wanting to get by you as soon as possible. Here they come towards the bus stop.
Top 3 separated by a blanket as they head towards the bus stop. Look at how they just bounce off going into the bus stop. All 4 wheels in the air. And then they got to make up for that going into the carousel. Let's see how they look. Everyone looking good so far.
Hey, make sure that you're live, by the way.
Oh.
I was like, why is he like a second behind? Are you live now?
Hold on. Why is it not? What the hell?
Are you watching, or are you registered in the race?
No. I'm watching on iRace. Okay, wait. I think I'm good. I'm good now. I'm good. Wait.
Okay. I was gonna say. All right. Well, they're coming through turn 1 right now. Thurston, Cook, and Hyder all bumper to bumper. They pulled nearly 3 seconds on Cheery in third. That just shows the pace that they're putting on right now, pushing each other to the limit.
I think what Chitty's probably thinking right now is, How the hell are these guys so far ahead? What do they know about this track, especially with this car? Because Chidi himself is about a second clear of Chris Lilly, a little bit more than a second, but boy, what these three have on this track is just nothing. It's just, compared to everyone else, it's just something completely different.
Yeah, I mean, it is just unreal. It's incredible how at a track like this, where you think the gaps between first and second would be so wide, in qualifying, they were separated by 0.5 of a second. That just shows the competitiveness of not just this series, but these three drivers at this specific track.
I tell you what, if I'm Chidi, I'm sitting back because you got to imagine with all these guys, with these top three racing each other so hard, they're using up their tires, especially Thurston at a track like Watkins Glen, where the track does eat the tires a lot. So if I'm Chidi, I'm sitting back for a little bit, saving whatever I can, and then really making a push once these guys start getting handling issues.
Yeah, and that's a big point. This is a long, grueling race, 40 laps to be exact. That's about half of a cup race here. These guys are going, oh my goodness, Cook! Sideways coming out of the S's. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Even after a few laps, these tires are screaming for grip through these high, demanding, fast corners.
What's so crazy is that they're still gapping him. They just put 0.6 on Chidi that lap. He's now 3.6 seconds back.
We got Thirsty for Thurston versus Let Him Cook. It might happen here. The 96 going to the grass, trying to mirror drive Cook out of the carousel.
Just not enough as they head into the next set of corners right now. The final set of corners. Thurston with a little bit of room, about half a car length. Not enough for Cook to make a move. He's going to diamond the corner a little bit, maybe get a better run going to the front stretch. But right now it is still the 96, the 70, and the 24. Positions have not changed since the start, but they are covered by a blanket. You can't take your eyes off them right now because at any point, this lead can exchange.
And I'm noticing Thurston is doing something, and this is very important at a road course, any road course to be specific, is not just how fast you're going on a racetrack, but more where your car is. Thurston is doing a great job positioning his car exactly where he needs to. We saw coming out of the carousel, he went wider to try to discourage Cook from trying to go to his inside. Positioning your car on a racetrack at any given point, especially in a grueling battle like this one, is so important. And that's really one of the big reasons why Thurston has been able to defend the lead for as long as he has.
I'll tell you what, I think Cook used a lot of his stuff right here because now Hyder's closing up on him, but more importantly, James Thurston is building an advantage. This is the biggest gap between first and second that we have seen all race long. And now Thurston, he's got a little bit of wiggle room here. He doesn't have the 70 right on his bumper. He can take care of himself at least for the next lap or so before they get right back up to him.
And I wonder what Hyder's been doing. Hyder has not made any attack. As I say that, he's going to have a look down the inside. Oh, he backed out of it last moment. He had a look. But Hyder has been waiting in the wings, waiting for these two to do something. These guys have stalled out in first and second, and has surely been able to save a little bit of that tire in the process.
I mean, even just coming out of the S's, you can see that 70 car is not handling well. He is swirling all over the track. The 96, he's just able to position his car wherever he wants. That 70, it is getting tight, it is getting loose. You can just see him going through the bus stop. He is sliding all over the place, and I think he's used up his stuff right now because Thurston, he's continuing to pull away slowly but surely. But even in the sense of Hyder, I think Hyder's got to be a little more patient here. The 70 is not handling well right now. Just continue to take care of your stuff and then pounce on the 70 when he makes a mistake.
And here's your update on Connor Trafari. He started outside the top 20. He just went for a dive bomb on a Revelo down to the bus stop. He is now in P7 going after his teammate Jason Gallagher.
Trafari might be a factor if we get some crazy strategy or caution. As we see Hyder, he's now going to make a move going to the inside of the 70s, side by side, coming out of turn number 1. Hyder on the inside, Cook on the outside, and Cook prevails. Hyder has to slot back in third.
Yeah, that was a good attempt there from Hyder. Hyder really seems to really be confident down in turn 1. He made the move last time, backed out of it, went for it this time, didn't work. The 70 just rolled it around the outside. Hyder's going to have to be clever here because he has to understand this isn't just anybody here. This is somebody that out-qualified him, nearly identical to his own speed. He's got to be clever and tricky if he wants to make this pass.
Hyder a little bit quicker coming out of the bus stop, but you can tell the 70 is holding up the 24 right now. That 96 starting to build a little bit of a gap, but he got a little bit loose. Actually, all three of them got pretty loose coming out of the carousel. I think Hyder's going to try to make a move here, and indeed he is.
Contact!
But the 70 not giving up, and they both go wide.
Oh, Cook still sideways going through the final corner. He holds on to the car. That is road course racing. They're going to continue side by side. But Hyder's going to get it, and I'll tell you, I don't think you blame anybody for that. That's a good old racing deal. Cook's going to try to send one down the inside. He'll get back in line. Hyder has the spot gained, but for what? They've lost nearly a second and a half on Thurston due to that contact.
Almost 1.6 seconds now is the difference between James Thurston and Alexander Hyder. Now Hyder's got a lot of work to do, but, I mean, he's got to hope right now that Thurston, he's going to take care of his stuff. I mean, we saw at Atlanta where Thurston, he really backed off the pace trying to save his equipment, even gave the lead back to Hyder. But he's got to hope for that right now because I don't think that he can afford too much to really go on the offense because Cook is now right back on his back bumper.
Yeah, I wonder how the tempers feel. I just showed the replay, and I'll be honest, I can't tell whether Cook came down or Hyder came up. I'll still say that's a racing deal, but one thing's for certain, Hyder was definitely getting impatient. He was tired of staying behind Cook. He wanted to go, and we'll see how Cook feels about that if he gets back up to him.
I think I can tell that how Cook is feeling by this because he's doing everything he can to get back to the back bumper, even making some looks on the inside of that 24. He is not happy about that move that Hyder made. I believe he is, not happy.
Thurston might be in trouble because now within one lap, Hyder has cut the gap between him and Thurston in half. He is coming really quick, and we're about to have another battle for the lead here, and Cook might follow too.
Well, remember, Thurston typically allows this to happen. He will back off the pace once he has a gap, really try to conserve his stuff. No need. You can even see as he goes into the bus stop, not as aggressive as he was before. Just taking care of his stuff, trying to get any advantage he can on those tires. You can even see, like, Hyder, he's really forcing it coming out of the carousel. Thurston taking it nice and easy. And that's just, I think this is going to benefit Thurston because Hyder, he's going to use up his equipment, and Cook is going to try to take advantage, an angry Cook, while Thurston, he's just going to pull away.
I agree with you. He did the same exact thing in Atlanta last week when Hyder went off strategy, tried to pull a bit of a longer run to get the fresher tires later. He just let Hyder burn up his stuff on his fresh rubber to get back up to him. And also because Cheery has gained a whole second on Thurston that one last lap. Here comes Hyder through the S's for the lead.
Thurston got a little bit loose coming out of turn number 1, but he's still able to make it work. Closes the door on the 24. And this is really important because they are coming up on a lapped car right now. You can see it on the screen. Oh, he's going to move out of the way. Good job. Let the leaders race over themselves. I believe that's the 82.
That's the 95 of Freddie Grube. He has not had a great race. Wait. Yes, it is Freddie.
Is that Freddie?
Yes. For some reason, on the left side of his car, he has a whole different number. I don't think he has his training paints on correctly.
What I find funny is that in the chat, Connor Trafalgar is saying tempers flaring.
Well, I'm sure he's referring
I want to know why, unless he's talking about the lead. Yeah, he better be referring to Cook, because otherwise I'm afraid to know why else tempers would be flared.
Coming out of the final corner here, all three of these guys are sideways through all these corners. They are running out of grip. They've been pushing each other to the limit. And I'll tell you what, if Thurston is pushing, Cheery is pushing even more. He gained a couple tenths on the three of them that last lap around.
I told you, Cheedy, he needs to sit back, let these guys abuse their equipment, and then he can make a move. But he can't get too far back Last time I checked, he was 3.6 seconds off the pace. Now he is 5.2. He did make up a couple tenths, but he's got to continue to do that. But going about Hyder, you can tell that he is just desperate to take this lead. He keeps making looks down the inside, down the outside. You're going to see here through the carousel, I think he's going to try to dive in the corner a little bit, and indeed he is. Just got to be careful with that number 70, though, but he is doing everything he can to get this lead.
Man, these guys. Thurston is definitely checking him up big time. Thurston, again, doing that great job of just positioning his car to the point where Hyder really can't risk making an attack like that. He's making looks, but it's not enough to just make a look. You have to commit to the dive, and right now, Thurston's just not letting him. And they're running as slow as they've had all night long. I mean, they're struggling to keep up pace because Thurston keeps backing them up.
And Hyder keeps making these moves as well, just trying to get anything he can. You can just see, like, every time he's making a look on the inside, trying to say, hey, I'm here, maybe I'm going to make the dive bomb. And he's already done it a couple times into this race, but now he gets a little bit loose coming out of the S's, and now that 70's all over his back bumper. The 70 nearly goes into the grass.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Thurston's going now. Just in that first sector alone, they pulled a second on Cheery. Thurston is on the move.
Cook got a little bit wide coming out of the buses and into the carousel. Let's see if he's able to position that and dime in the corner to get a better exit.
Here we go, down the straightaway, heading towards the final two corners. It's the same top three, same story all night long. Thurston, Hyder, and Cook. These top two are fighting for a championship. They fought at Auto Club. Thurston won that battle. Last week in Atlanta, Hyder shocked Thurston by beating him at that place. Now here at Watkins Glen, it's the same story, and Hyder's looking to put a move here down the inside into turn one.
Not enough. Hyder again, just trying. You know, I think he knows that he's not going to be able to make the move unless he just Austin Dillon's Thurston, which is way too early to do that. But right now, I think he's just trying to get Thurston to make a mistake, trying to get him off his A game. And credit to Thurston, he is not fazed by that whatsoever. He is sticking to what he's got. He is not letting these looks from Hyder, phase him at all. And that's, I think, been the main thing, just the calmness and the composure with two really fast guys behind him.
Your Trafari update, he passed Gallagher about 5 laps ago, and he is approaching his team owner. That is Chris Lilly. Again, started outside the top 20. He is all over the back of Chris Lilly here for 5th place. Top 20 to top 5, Armani. That's incredible.
That is incredible indeed. Trafari, we talked to him earlier. He was saying how, he missed the date, he missed the ASCA 500, and he thinks that he should be up there in the standings as well if it wasn't for missing the ASCA 500. And, on a local course like this, it's an opportunity for some guys who, they had some misfortunes early on, maybe to make up some moves. As speaking of a move, the 70 made a look on I almost said Trafari, made a look on Hyder in the inside of turn one, but tucks back into third. But yeah, Trafari trying to make up for lost ground. He's currently 8th in the standings and trying to do what he can. But 20 all the way up. What is he now, in 5th?
Yeah. Well, did he just pass Lilly? He hasn't passed Lilly yet. He actually lost a little bit of time. He's up to 6th. But with his pace, he'll pass Lilly in no time.
I mean, what is he? He is 11 seconds off the pace right now. Chitty continues to lose ground. He's now 7.6 seconds behind. But yeah, at this rate, he's going to pass Lilly. He might even pass Chitty. My question is, how much has he used his equipment?
Down the inside. Higher contact!
Inside!
Oh my goodness, and Cook runs into the back of Hyder. Now Cook down the inside.
Cook.
Oh my goodness, Armani, that was incredible. Again, Hyder with that move into that left-hander. He made contact with Cook the first time, then he just door slammed into his championship rival. I've been waiting for this, and in every race, Auto Club, Atlanta, and now here, these guys have traded some paint. I'm wondering when it's going to become too much, and Hyder has a ton of damage on that right side of the car. Will that affect anything?
I mean, it's affecting him right now, I believe, as he is losing a lot of ground to the top two. But how much damage does Thurston have as well? He received a lot of that as well, because you can see that 70s all over him.
Oh, I'm sure Hyder isn't feeling too good about that one. Thurston through the grass. Cook is all over him. There's something wrong with Thurston. Either he's backing it up again, or he has some damage on the car. I don't see anything visible, though.
I'm trying to see. It's got to be on the right, on the left side. It looks good.
But something's wrong here. Cook's going to the outside there on him.
Not terrible. Actually, I'm kind of getting back into this. This is incredible.
Side by side, out of the final corner. Cook sideways, Thurston sideways. All three of these guys have traded paint here for the lead, down to turn one.
We haven't really seen Thurston have to truly defend this lead. He's really controlled the pace, but now this is the most pressure he's had all race long.
There's
Let's
something
see how
wrong.
He lives.
Contact!
He's under Thurston!
Oh my goodness! Cook and Thurston through the S's. Tons of damage there on Thurston. Tons of damage on Cook. Tons of damage on Hyder. The top three have all been running into each other. And Cherry is going to be so happy to hear that, knowing that his opponents...
This is incredible. Right now, Thurston just got moved out of the way. He got wrecked. But... Oh my!
Here, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go all the way back.
Can't you put words together?
So here's what happened originally. Right here, we're gonna be going ahead and watching. Right here, this is into the first wreck. Hyder and Thurston down here into the left-hander. Hyder again locks up, doors Thurston. That's a ton of damage there for the 096. And we're gonna fast forward here a little bit to a lap later. And here they go, side by side. Now the first move right here, Thurston slams the curb into one, almost gets wrecked there. Cook goes ahead and backs out of it. But then this is when things get ugly. Thurston is suffering with some kind of issue. You can see he's struggling to get that car to turn and to rotate. Cook goes to the outside, and I'm afraid that Thurston might have to take the blame for that one. I mean, if we just go slow-mo, yeah, I mean, he's basically driving the normal line like he's not even there. I'll give him this. Cook definitely was not going to make that second part of the S. I think both of their lines just came together right there. But, my goodness, that's ugly. Tons of damage there for Thurston.
Yeah, you got to put that on Thurston. He's got to be more aware than that. But, I mean, I think that's just a racing deal. But everyone's kind of in the heat of it. Such an intense battle. Everyone's just trying to make up what they can get. But I'd put that more in the 96. But Richard Chitty, he's made up about 2.5 seconds as we got cars coming on the pit road.
So here's the deal. The 24 caught up to the 70 here. The 70 just is front end's just completely destroyed. That is a race killer at most tracks. At a road course, it might be manageable. We'll see how much of this damage these guys want to work on. Surely they're not going to try to work on much, try to cut as much time on pit road as possible. But in the meantime, Richard Cherry now has taken the lead of the race. Everybody on pit road, everybody within the top 5 has come in, except for Cherry. Hyder is going to come out first, followed by Cook, and then Thurston. There's going to be a big, wide gap there between them. I'm sure Cook decided he wanted to spend a bit of extra time on pit road to fix some of that damage, because Hyder is far ahead.
Yeah, he had to, because, I mean, look at the advantage of Hyder compared to Cook. Now, my question is Cook going to be able to, make up that time again with, potentially with the damage fix?
Yeah, but we'll wait and see. Yeah, I understand. Cherry's in from the lead. We'll see where he packs out here. Budimlik also stayed out on this lap. He right now runs second. We'll see how long he goes here on the run. We are heading about halfway, so this is a one-stop here for these guys. They can make it the rest of the way, so they're just trying to cut this race in half. Let's see what Budimlik does. And yes, Budimlik will bring it in and that will cycle the lead back to Alexander Hyder, who has a bit of damage, a little bit of repairs done on that right side. Doesn't look as bad as before, but the favorite to win tonight's race is back up front.
So Hyder is about 3-4 seconds ahead of Jeremy Cook. Now my question is simple. Is Cook going to be able to make that time back up?
I don't know now. I think earlier before the wreck I could have easily said yes, but the problem is now Cook has a big dent on the front of that car. I mean, that is easily some engine damage, and I mean, even the body itself looks shifted. I mean, that's just so much damage. We'll see if he's able to manage it. At a road course like this, damage is a lot more manageable, especially with these bulky stock cars, but we'll see here, because Hyder also has a responsibility here to save a little bit of tire. We saw Thurston do that a little bit earlier on in the race, and Cook right now isn't losing too much time to him, but obviously what's going on with Cook right now is not ideal.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm paying attention to these times to see what the advantage, or, you know, if he's able to make up any ground. Let's see as they come across the start-finish line. 2.2, he's making up ground.
Well, yeah, no, he's gaining a ton of time here on Hyder. So this race might not be over. Cook, with a fucked up car, is still trying to win this thing. He's got to get past his lap car of Cole Swaggart first. I'm sure Swaggart's just going to go and get out of the way. Yes, he will. That's my good friend, Arctic Draft. He's respectable. He hasn't had a great season. He's right now outside of the chase picture, but hopefully he can find some way right now. He's sitting 17th.
All right, he made up about 2 seconds that last lap.
Hey, I hate to interrupt you. I really do, but Sherry's under pressure from a certain somebody.
Let me guess. It's it's a certain terrorist.
Now I do want to. Speaking of terrorist, look at the condition of his car.
Oh no, I'm looking. Okay.
I don't think that came from that wasn't there before. Down the inside. He's going for it here. Levi Life's trying to get out of the way here. Connor Jafari down the inside. Richard Cheery. That car is messed up as Jeremy Cook puts on the fastest lap of the race. He is sideways down into turn one. That damage that Connor Jafari has is surely affecting the balance on that car, but he's still holding it around the outside.
We talked to him during the pre-race, and you know, we talked about how we wanted to give us some excitement. By the looks of his car, he understood the assignment.
Well, once we get all these battles underway, if I have an opportunity, I want to take a quick look and find out where he got that damage from, because that damage was not there when he was fighting with Lily, as he's all over the back, down the inside, going into the carousel between Cheery and Trafari.
I want to tell you, Gavin, I think fixing that damage paid off, because Cook is all over the back bumper of that 24, making up over 4 seconds. Now, is that Hyder saving his stuff, or is that really the damage starting to have its effect on the leader? But Cook all over the back bumper of the 24.
Yeah, well, I think that you might be on something with the saving part, because immediately Hyder got on the gas, pulled half a second. Cook gave the wall out of the final corner a little kiss as they go through the S's.
Yeah, it's starting to build a lead now. About 3 car lengths now separating him. Cook really squirrely coming out of the S's. Yeah, I think Hyder might be saving a little bit of his stuff, but don't count out Cook. Yeah, let him cook.
Let him cook. And I'll tell you, through this bus stop, he is cooking all over the back of that 24 as they go into the carousel.
Boy, you got to imagine, if Thurston didn't get that damage, this could still be a phenomenal 3-way battle for the lead, but unfortunately, Thurston almost 5 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, well, the aggression has gotten to an unreal level. I mean, at Watkins Glen, with those 3 guys being mere milliseconds off each other, it's no surprise that they would have to tangle to get some passes done.
Well, I mean, that's just the nature of it, especially here at road course racing. When you're only milliseconds apart from each other, tenths of seconds apart from each other, you're trying to do anything you can. Any little advantage you can get on the guy in front of you, you have to take it because they're just so close together.
Right now, the top 10 as it stands, it's Hyder, then Jerry Cook. We got James Thurston trying to limp that thing around. Richard Cheery has actually pulled away from Connor Jafari a little bit. That damage that he got is surely affecting the balance on that car. Jason Gallagher having a fantastic run inside the top 10, 6th place. His team owner, Chris Lilly, right behind. Aiden Arevalo with another great run. There he is right there in that K1 Speed Dodge. He right now sits 8th. Miles Davis, 9th, and Hunter Collier. Where is Hunter Collier? Where is this man? I'm looking for him. There he is. He's sitting out right at the end of the top 10. Still looking for a sponsor.
15 cars on the lead lap. Interesting. No cautions either, and not really any incidents besides over for the lead. I mean, if we go back and we look at what, Trafari did, we probably have a lot more than just one incident at this point, but so far, pretty good.
Well, fortunately, we seem to have a little bit of a quiet time, so I'm going to open up the HUD here. I'm going to figure out exactly what the man did. So, if you don't mind, everyone's just going to have to see the HUD really quick. What did this man do? Let's find out. I'm curious. What did he do? Because that left side of the car is destroyed. What did he do? Because he did not have that. Okay! Lap 16. What did he do? Let's see. Alright, so far so good. A little sideways there. I wonder if he wrecked himself. We're going to speed forward a little bit. Did he wreck himself? Oh! He hit the... Oh! That's... Okay, so, he slammed the wall at the final corner all by himself. That's what happened. Yeah. So he committed a self-terrorism. A suicide bomb. A suicide bomb, if you will.
A suicide bomb with, no casualties.
Yeah, well, except himself. He, even though he's still staying fit, that car is clearly out of control. Cheery's gained a second on him now.
He slammed that outside wall.
The battle for the lead continues. We come back to Cook sliding that thing through the S's. My goodness, you can see with our cameras there, him correcting that wheel, trying to hold on to the thing.
Here they come going into the bus stop. So far looking good. I think Hyder's playing on some games right now with Cook. He's saving a lot of his stuff, letting Cook get to the back bumper, and then he just pulls away after that. Let's see if they come out of the carousel. Pretty good run for Hyder, able to gain about half a car length on the 70 car as they head into the final set of corners.
Yeah, right there on the back bumper. At least I hope that... Cook's hoping that that's not what he's doing. He really needs that confidence right now to know that he can still fight for this win. He is all over the back of him coming out of the final corner.
Well, the best way to get the confidence is simple, pass him. Because then you pass him, and then you really force Hyder to start using his equipment, and then now Hyder has to be on the offense, and Cook can be on the defense. But you're seeing it there. Cook, he just pulls away. Or excuse me, Hyder just pulls away.
Yeah, I think Hyder's definitely using Cook as a little bit of a pick right now. He's making Cook use up his stuff while using that difference to go ahead and save a little bit of tire. So surely that he has this under control. We'll see if Cook can do anything about it here as they go through the bus stop. Cook again right to the back bumper, trying to make anything happen here.
Tell you what, I think Cook is better in the bus stop and the carousel, but Hyder, he's just so much better in turn number one that he's really able to build that advantage. If Cook can even just match Hyder going into one and coming out of the S's, I think he can make a move, possibly going to the final set of corners, because right now they are just dead even.
The thing is, I feel like Hyder, at least these last couple of times that Cook's gotten to him, I mean, he's gotten right to the bumper. And at least in my opinion, if you're Hyder, you really don't want to be allowing Cook to get that close. Cook, this racetrack invites a lot of dive bombs. There's a lot of corners where you can go in there and just send one in there. We saw Hyder do it a couple times, cause a couple incidents himself. So he's familiar with it. So if I'm Hyder, do what you're doing right now. Keep it around 0.3 of a second. Keep him in your mirror, but don't let him get to your bumper. Because if you get to the bumper, then with Cook needs to send it. So, because if Cook sends it, then this whole race turns on its plane. Like right there, for example, that 70 car is so much better through the bus stop and through the carousel. If I'm the 70 car, do what Hyder's been doing. Dive bomb into that left-hander, force him to go wide, and take the lead.
Well, keep in mind, there's still like 13 laps to go in this race. You don't want to make a move early on and then, still with 8 laps to go, Hyder does the same thing to you. So, I mean, if I'm Cook, I kind of just wait it out a bit. Keep pace with Hyder, and then make your move with just a handful of laps to go. That way you don't give the 24 an opportunity to repay the favor. And keeping in mind with the 24, with him making all those dive ball moves, that kind of told, at the time, the 96 and also the 70, that, hey, that's how we're going to race? Okay, you can do it to us. We're going to do it to you, as Aiden Smith moves out of the way for the leaders.
Yeah, Aiden Smith, unfortunately, has... He's sitting 14th. A decent run there by him. It would be his best finish, but one lap down at a road course, probably not the best look in the world. Here we go down the back once again. Hyder and Cook, 4/10 separate the two. Going down here into the bottom. My goodness, he's sending it so much harder, so much deeper. You can see those wheels are on the front end of the car correcting itself. That's really where he's gaining so much time. He's going so aggressive through that section of track.
Yeah, he's better in that set of corners, but I really think that the bus stop and the carousel, it just abuses your equipment a lot more than the S's and going into turn 1, because you cook into the turn 1, you're done, and I think Cook knows that, so he doesn't really want to get too aggressive going there, but man, when you just abuse the car going through the bus stop, and then you just shred the tires, is he going to the pits?
He's hitting pit road, he's going to pits, he's trying something different. I guess he doesn't think he can make it. I assume that everyone would be able to make it on a... There must be either this is a off strategy here where maybe we misunderstood the strategy. I assume that if they were pitting on lap 20, it means that they can make it on one stop. But either that's not the case or there's some kind of other issue outside the sim that he needs to attend to. We'll see how this goes there for Jeremy Cook as he comes to pit road. Surrender second to James Thurston.
I mean, he's taking tires, so I know this place chews up tires a lot, but you gotta imagine if it was just for fuel that he would just take the gas and go, so...
Well, we'll have to wait and see what's going on with that there, Armani. That's certainly a weird one. Chris Lilly has overtaken Jason Gallagher. That was a battle for 6, but with Jeremy Cook pitting, that will now turn to a battle for the top 5 spot. Chris Lilly back in the top 5.
Let's see what Hyder does here. He's still out on the track.
I just don't really understand why he did that. I mean, maybe they do have to pit for more fuel. Maybe there's a big advantage. I mean, Cook's back in 10th here, so we'll watch him and see what he can do. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not really getting this move.
Neither am I. I mean, no one... I'm looking at the leaderboard right now. No one else is pitted.
Huh. Well... There must be some kind of strategy, and I want to give a shout out here to Cheery. Now Cheery's in 3rd, and he is outpacing James Thurston. James Thurston with a ton of damage on the right side of that car, and he's trying to limp that thing around. Cheery is approaching him here for 2nd place. What a great run it would be for Cheery to get a 2nd place finish after that horrible, horrible restart at Atlanta.
Well, we were talking about it during practice on his phenomenal paint scheme, so he's looking to put it up in the podium places.
Right now, the 9 holds on to 4th. That's Connor Jafari. Then we got Chris Lilly inside the top 5. Jason Gallagher is having some kind of issue. He's through the grass. Has he crashed into the bus stop? Let's take a quick look. What happened to him? No, he just completely missed turn 1 here. I was wondering what was going on because Jason Gallagher was going very slow. He gets loose in the entry of turn 1. Here comes Aiden Arevalo. They're going to go side by side there, entering the S's, and there goes Arevalo up the P6. Jason Gallagher was having a great run coming into tonight, and unfortunately he seems to be falling back. He's losing grip on those tires.
I'm just trying to understand this strategy. Like, he's making up time on the rest. He's about to make a move on Miles Davis. You could definitely see Davis off the pace, and Davis just goes by, but he's over 35 seconds behind the leader, and we're coming up on like 7 laps to go. I mean, if he was trying to get a tire advantage, I'd get that, but I mean, with 10 laps to go, I don't think that's enough time. You'd have to make up a considerable amount of seconds at that point, and I just don't get it.
Well, maybe it'll all make sense in due time, because we do have a battle for second that's getting ever closer. James Thurston under attack here from Richard Cheery. This is going to be one to watch.
Well, you got to feel for Thurston. Oh, here we go. Thurston comes into the pits.
I'm assuming that you have to pit. I'm assuming that's it. I'm assuming Cook must have just pit really early then. And that means that, again, we're not sure what's going on here in the commentary box, I'll be honest, with Thurston and Cheery pitting. I mean, the only other thing I can imagine, the only two people that have stopped are the people with significant amounts of damage. Yeah, like maybe there's some kind of engine issue. Maybe it's just continuing to wear and they have to make required repairs, but I'm not really too sure. That's just me inventing ideas in my head. That's going to put Cheery to second, Lilly to third, Arevalo fourth, Gallagher in fifth, and Cook is up to sixth.
So you'd think if it was off the damage, then Hyder would eventually have to come to pit road.
Well, he never truly spun. The 70 had a big dent in the front of his car, and then we had, obviously, Thurston was the one that got spun off that and slammed the rear end up against the wall. All Hyder did was give a few door slams to the two of them. Here's the battle for fifth here, and you could just see how much more grip Cook had. Gallagher just gets out of the way. Cook now up into the top 5. He's gaining about a second or two a lap, but that's not going to cut it. Not even half of that, unless Hyder pits. But again, I'm not really too sure why these guys are pitting.
What's crazy is that, Hyder, he's still running this race. He's got Cook and Thurston behind him because he is just driving through the bus stop, driving through the final set of corners.
Arevalo just pit. Yeah, so this is definitely, I guess they can't make it. That has to be my best guess, because now Arevalo has come in. These guys are going to go as far as they can here before they have to stop.
Hyder slowly backed off the pace a little bit. I'm looking at him right now. So is he going to try to make it all the way to the end? Because right now he's got a 10-second advantage to Richard Cheedy.
Yeah, no, he can absolutely. If what's going on right now is fuel strategy, then he can easily just, coast down a lot of these straights and he'd be perfectly fine. He's coming to 5 laps to go this time.
This is really interesting. So I guess we got some fuel strategy here.
I guess. And yeah, Richard Cheery now within 9 seconds of Alexander Hyder. Richard Cheery is not saving whatsoever. He's going.
But you got to make up, 2 seconds a lap to get eventually to the back bumper of Hyder. I just don't think he's got enough time. It just depends on how much Hyder is saving. If we could get a look at the lap times, Hyder's last time around was a 1:13.936. Cheedy, if I could see his, 1:13.434, so half a second faster. Yeah, but not enough.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to be enough. We'll see what Hyder does here. Again, I can't wait to ask these guys post-race what was even going on with all the wrecking they did with the pit strategy, because I'm very confused myself on what's going on here.
Yeah, Hyder's definitely slowed the pace down a bit. He's backed off, not taking the corners as aggressively as he could. I think he's saving now. Oh, he's definitely saving. He is backing way... he started getting off the gas once he crossed the start-finish line.
Oh, yeah, so fuel is a concern. They cannot make it to the checkered flag unless they do some hard saving. Lilly holding on to third, but that number 70 car is getting mighty close here.
This may not be over by any stretch.
The CLD guys, Jason Gallagher, Connor Trafari, are fighting for a top 5 spot. Jason Gallagher just slammed the fence off the final corner in the same exact way Trafari did earlier in the race. They're going to be going down here towards turn 1 together.
Boy, this is going to be really interesting. See here, last time was a 114.036. For Chidi, it was a 113.466. So about 6/10 clear. Again, not enough. Right now, Hyder's doing just enough to hold on to the lead. Which again, he's at 9.2 seconds, so he's got plenty of wiggle room.
Right now, watching the two CLD guys go at it here as they go towards the carousel. These two have a ton of damage, identical damage on the left side from their hits up against that final wall in that final corner. As they come down the backstretch, Trafari, very aggressive. Gallagher's going to give it up here and give it to Trafari. He is going very slow on the track. What is going on? For whatever reason, he just slowed down. I don't know why he did that, but he's giving it up. And he also let Budimlik by for 6th place. And Budimlik has shown himself up here towards the top 5 for the first time here tonight. And yeah, Gallagher is just coasting down the entire straightaway. These guys are trying to make it.
Now, my question is, are they going to be able to make it?
I mean, I imagine if they haven't pit yet, then they're confident that they can.
I mean, Hyder's got a 9-second advantage, so he can do everything in his power just to coast, take it easy. Just don't give up, at this point, 4 seconds a lap, and you'll be good. So Hyder's in a really good spot right now. Just save what he can, take care of his stuff, and, I mean, I think the 24 might have this.
Yeah, easily. 2 laps to go now. We'll see how it feels there for the 24. 8 seconds between Alexander Hyder and Richard Cheery. Cook, 24 seconds back. He is in 3rd on a fresh set of rubber. Thurston is in 8th right now. He's going to get past Gallagher here shortly because Gallagher's trying to save to make it to the end. And a Revelo just made the pass for 9th place on Davis.
Hey, and credit to the 24, calculated the fuel strategy as well, especially given the pressure that he was having, going after the leaders, trying to defend the leaders, really using his equipment, getting some damage, all of that, and he still might find a way to save fuel at the end.
Well, hey, he's got to make one more lap here. White flag in the air here for Alexander Hyder. Down into turn 1 for the final time. Again, all he has to do is make it a couple more miles, and he'll make it home.
Hey, I mean, credit to him. I didn't think this was going to come down to fuel mileage at the end. But, I mean, for what we saw at the beginning to what we have now, massive credit to the 24.
Yeah, got into a little bit of contact. I'm sure we'll hear about it post-race. I'm sure he'll have a few apologies he'll want to make. But as he comes through these final few corners here, Alexander Hyder is going to bring it home for a 2nd career victory here this season. As he is sputtering through these final corners. We're on board with him. He is sputtering through these final few corners. He's going to be at the nick of fuel here right at the end. Through the final corner for Alexander Hyder. He's going to come off the corner and see the checkered flag. 2nd win of the season, 2nd in a row for Alexander Hyder comes at Watkins Glen International.
Who would have thought fuel mileage would be the deciding outcome of this race? My goodness, he's wasting no time He's got even a little bit to do a burnout.
Richard Cherry brings it home second. A impressive run for Richard. He'll be happy with that one. Here comes Jeremy Cook across the start-finish line. Unfortunately, a lot of contact there with both Hyder and the 096 of Thurston. We'll hear about that post-race. He'll bring it home third. Chris Lilly limps it home in fourth. Trafori with a beat-up car is going to come off the final corner, score another top five. Here comes the battle for six. Budimlik, Thurston coming through the final corner. They're both sliding their tires across the start-finish line. Budimlik and Thurston bring it home for 6th and 7th. Gallagher limping it across the start-finish line. 8th place, Arevalo, not close enough. He'll bring it home 9th. And finally, for a top 10 spot, here comes Hunter M. Collier. He's excited. He's drifting across the line. Top 10 for him.
What a race.
He's going to go in and murder. Jesus fuck.
What a race. I mean, if you would have told me at the LK, just murder all over, but if you would have told me everyone's trying to murder Hyder, you're trying to say, how did you save that fuel?
Oh,
Even I don't know how he saved that fuel. Oh my God, look at this.
They're trying to take a picture, and Arevalo and Nikki were getting involved. The CLD Brigade is going to get another good finish here. Bumper to bumper to bumper. All the way to the start-finish line.
No, don't get out of the line unless you're going to go to the front. Come on. We got the conga line going.
Nikki might murder a man.
Group 2.
Uh-oh.
Chris, don't give out any penalties. Just let this happen.
Is AJ out of fuel? He might be out of fuel.
I think he's out of fuel.
Let's get an on board with him. Let's hear him.
No, he's going.
Yeah, he's fine.
Going. No, he's out of fuel. He's slowing down a lot.
No, he does a little bit. You can hear it. We're going to have a lot of questions here for Alexander Hyder.
Yeah. Wow. And I think the biggest surprise out of this whole race is that it went caution-free. I know the rules. Yes, I know the rules were, you still got more to do a burnout. Okay. But I know with, being a road course, the cautions are a lot more relaxed. But that doesn't change the fact that is still ASCA. And we didn't have that many incidents. Unless you're Connor Trafari or the top 3, we didn't have that many incidents. I'm surprised we didn't get at least one.
Yeah, well, fortunately, with the lower field that we had here tonight, only about 28 cars, and fortunately, a lot of these guys wanted to behave today, which is a first for these guys. We got a very good race, and by far the best race of the season. No interruptions of cautions. And we're going to take a good look. We're going to take a good look here at the finishing results here for tonight's race here at Watkins Glen. The Hartman Designs 100. Alexander Hyder brings it home for his second win this season, second win in a row here at Watkins Glen International. Richard Cherry brings it home for second. That's his best career finish. He'll be very happy with that one. Jeremy Cook got into some contact with James Thurston in the middle of the race, suffered with damage, brought it down pit road, brings it home third. Chris Lilly, one of the guys that stayed out, tried to limp it home on fumes, and he did so. Another top 5 there for our 2-time champion. And Connor Trafari gets another top 5, charged from outside the top 20 to get it done. Nicholas Budimlik with a fantastic 6th place finish. He held off James Thurston, and James Thurston, oh my goodness, he was up front, led the laps, got pole, and unfortunately bad contact with him and Jeremy Cook through the S's ruined his race. Tried coming down pit road for some fresh rubber. It did not end up working out. He brings home 7th. Jason Gallagher, first top 10 of the season. He did a good job. He limps it home, literally limps it home. He was pretty much going down the straightaways off the throttle for 8th place. Aiden Arevalo brings it back for a 9th place finish, and Hunter M. Collier rounds out the top 10. Going through outside the top 10 now, we got ourselves Nicholas Martinez Jr. comes back in his return race. Last car on the lead lap in 11th. Defending winner Landon Warren, not a night to remember, 12th place. Aiden Smith, his best finish of this season with a 13th place finish, but probably not the one that he was looking for. Probably looking for a top 10. And speaking of bad finishes, Miles Davis, something happened with Miles. He was inside the top 10 early. Might have been some contact. He brings home 14th. Cole Swaggart in 15th. Owen Chabinski in 16th. Wayne A. Kennedy 17th. Daniel Botting 18th. Another bad run for Levi Leip 19th. And Freddie Group with an even worse one in 20th. Moving on to outside the top 20 now, we got Dimitri Mundros in 21st. Ethan Harrison got involved in that early wreck with Connor Travari in 22nd. Joshua Smith in 23rd. Jordan Herring 24th. Logan Hartman 25th. George Tolsma 26th. Matt Bottles didn't even start the race, along with Ryan Arnold. So that's going to round it up here for tonight's Hartman Designs 100. We'll be back in a few moments.